realize I was stalking your sister, your half sister.
Uh-oh.
Well, we got the same mother.
Okay, well then, sister, I don't know. I personally, I don't claim anything that came from my parents that didn't come from the both of them. I consider myself an only child. I have lots of siblings, but the truth is, I am the only child between my mother and my father, and all of my siblings hated me for that. So, if you consider her your full sister, that's fine.
Now, y'all already know how Jaguar Wright can't resist inserting herself into every controversy, like she's the unofficial, unpaid spokesperson for chaos. And once again, she's found a new target. This time, it's none other than Chrisean Rock, or as Jaguar mockingly calls her, Chrisean Rock. In true Jaguar fashion, she's taken to social media to call Chrisean out in a scathing rant, accusing her of being a terrible mother and claiming that Chrisean's actions have allegedly disabled her son, Junior. Let's break this mess all the way down. But before we dig deeper into Jaguar's latest accusations, it's worth pointing out something that left fans both stunned and skeptical. According to an explosive live interview on Zibonga Entertainment, Jaguar's older sister, Mick China, casually dropped a bombshell. She claimed that Chrisean Rock is actually their half-sister. That's right. China insisted that Chrisean shares a biological parent with them, making her family. The internet nearly broke trying to process that revelation. However, Jaguar wasn't having any of it. She immediately shut the claim down during the interview, stating clearly and coldly that she only considers people who share both of her biological parents as siblings. Full stop. "I don't do halves," she said with an icy finality. "If you weren't born from both my mother and my father, you're not my sibling, period." It was a firm denial that added yet another layer to the already messy family drama. And still, that didn't stop Jaguar from going in on Chrisean. She doubled down on the narrative that Chrisean is unfit to be a mother, even going as far as to suggest that Chrisean's alleged drinking and partying while pregnant contributed to developmental issues in baby Junior. Jaguar's words weren't just harsh, they were brutal, painting a picture of negligence and recklessness. "We all saw it coming," Jaguar said in one of her recent lives. "She was never built to raise a child, and now that baby's the one paying for her mistakes." The internet has been divided ever since. Some believe Jaguar is speaking the uncomfortable truth, holding someone accountable for behavior that's been widely criticized online. But others accuse her of chasing clout, saying she's using Junior's struggles as a weapon against Chrisean in a personal feud. They question her motives, especially given the complicated family ties and Jaguar's history of public outbursts. Now, with this alleged half-sibling connection floating around and Jaguar's repeated targeting of Chrisean, fans are starting to wonder, is this really about concern for Junior? Or is there a deeper family grudge at play? Either way, it's messy, it's emotional, and it's far from over. So what do y'all think? Is Jaguar just calling it like she sees it, or has she taken it way too far this time? Is Chrisean really out here endangering her son, or is she trying to grow and just keeps getting dragged down by her past? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed for more tea. Because if Jaguar's involved, you know it's only going to get wilder from here. Jaguar Wright stirred up major backlash after dismissing her connection to Chrisean Rock, insisting they aren't truly sisters because they don't share both parents. That statement rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. One person clapped back, saying, "That's corny, we don't do the half-sibling nonsense. A sister is a sister." Another chimed in, pointing out that since they share the same mother, that makes Chrisean her full sibling, regardless of whether they grew up together. Given the 20-year age gap, it's easy to see how their paths never really crossed in the same household. But what's more telling is the emotional distance between them. It's pretty clear these two aren't close, and likely never have been. Chrisean's rise to fame, fueled by her looks, presence, and media buzz, came fast and early. Meanwhile, Jaguar's journey has been more turbulent, with fewer breaks and less public affection. It's hard not to sense a bit of bitterness in the way Jaguar talks about her. There's a hint of envy in how she frames Chrisean's success. Rich, famous, admired, versus her own struggles. But does that justify throwing shade at Chrisean's child? That's where many draw the line. To her credit, Jaguar's always made it clear she doesn't claim Chrisean as family. But Mick China, who at first spoke of Chrisean as a beloved sister, ride or die and all, seemed to flip quickly when things didn't go her way. Her support faded as soon as reality clashed with expectation. So beneath the public drama lies a deeper story of estranged siblings, unspoken tension, and lives that couldn't be more different, even if they share blood.
I got some words for some motherfuckers out here, and I don't give two fucks about who get mad. I'm waiting on everybody to get on here so I can really put these in. Motherfuckers start getting a couple dollars and their head get big. Now run back and tell her I said it. First of all, you sitting there dick riding a nigga that beats your ass. You dick riding a nigga that shitted your son on the internet. You crazy. You really is fucked up. Your head is really fucked up, Chrisean. Period. Run back and tell her I said it. She's fucked up. Quick as God gave it to her, quick as God will snatch it. But when you sitting there making blue face.
Many people didn't hesitate to call out Mick China, labeling her a clout chaser who seemed more interested in Chrisean Rock's spotlight than in building any genuine sisterly bond. One person pointed out, "Isn't this the same woman who was in tears just because Chrisean acknowledged her? She acted more like a fan than a sister. She's not reliable, barely even knows Chrisean. This whole thing is immature. You're the older sister. Talk to her privately if you have something to say. Why are you online dragging her, especially when you're nearly 50, and talking about her child no less?" Another commenter didn't hold back either, writing, "These sisters are jealous of Rock. It's sad. I just hope she distances herself. The envy is real. What made things worse? It wasn't just the fame Mick China allegedly wanted, it was also the money." While she publicly claimed that money changed Chrisean, behind the scenes it seemed like she was trying to get a piece of it too. One person summed it up perfectly. "People think that just because someone in the family makes it, they're now responsible for everyone else. Like they owe something. No, they don't. Go get your own. Nobody owes you anything." Truth is, Chrisean's had rocky relationships with most of her family for a long time, and moments like this make it easier to see why.
Not argue by himself. He won't break his own damn TVs. If you listen to me, you the only daughter that won't listen to me.
My name can take that back, because I do listen. What are you talking about?
You don't, Sean, because we would be in this situation right now. Every time I try to call and tell you a message, you hang up on me.
You don't listen.
Call me hang up.
You answer, bro.
You call me
I just
hang
leave
up,
you
Sean,
every day
because
and
that's
say,
what you
Sean,
do
why?
best.
Everybody need fucking money.
Who everybody money? Who need money? Who's everybody? I never call you for everything. When did I ever call you for money?
I'm talking to mommy.
Yeah, but I always sleep to see if you don't who the fuck needs money?
Even Chrisean's full sister, Techie Malone, who shares both of her parents, hasn't been immune to the ripple effects of their family's deeply fractured dynamic. What once may have seemed like typical sibling distance has evolved into something far more complex and painful. During one of Chrisean's emotionally charged Instagram lives, she opened up about the strained relationships with her siblings, claiming that they had never genuinely cared for her well-being. But it wasn't just emotional neglect she spoke of. Chrisean dropped a bombshell that left the internet reeling. With a look of resentment and hurt, Chrisean accused Techie of disturbing childhood behavior, saying they didn't mess with each other because of past experiences. She was fast. "Ask her about playing house," Chrisean said, implying that Techie engaged in inappropriate behavior during their childhood. The phrase playing house took on a sinister tone, with many viewers interpreting it as a reference to possible childhood, abuse, or trauma. Social media immediately lit up, and Techie became the target of a wave of online outrage, with users tearing her reputation apart based on Chrisean's claim alone. In an unexpected move, Techie agreed to speak with Chrisean publicly, not to argue, but to defend her name. Sitting across from her sister in a tense yet calm setting, Techie firmly denied the allegations. "I would never call you something like that, not even at my angriest," she said, visibly emotional. Yet Chrisean wasn't interested in reliving or debating those specific childhood memories. Instead, she redirected the conversation toward other betrayals, like being jumped and later mocked, which she saw as proof that her family never truly had her back. This moment split the internet. Some viewers empathized with Techie, arguing that Trauma doesn't manifest in a vacuum. If Teki really did that, it probably happened to her too, one commenter offered, suggesting a deeper, tragic family history. Others were far less forgiving, slamming Teki and arguing that no level of trauma could justify crossing that line, even as children. Chrisean also opened up about the violence she witnessed growing up, particularly from their stepfather. She described how he would physically abuse their mother and sisters, often while Chrisean stood nearby, too young and too scared to understand what she was seeing. These formative years, marred by instability and fear, likely shaped much of Chrisean's emotional world and her complicated sense of trust and protection. Despite these revelations, a large portion of the internet remains critical of Chrisean, especially in how she's treated her young son, Junior. Concerned fans and critics alike have pointed to signs of possible developmental delays in the toddler, such as coordination issues and intense, inconsolable crying. Some even allege that Chrisean drank heavily while pregnant, further fueling speculation about Junior's health. One of the most vocal critics has been Jaguar Wright, who did not mince words, saying she saw all of this coming. According to her, Chrisean was never prepared for the responsibilities of motherhood. In recent weeks, Chrisean appears to be changing course. She's kept Junior out of the public eye, perhaps to shield him or to seek the help he might need. She's also been cutting off ties with people she calls toxic, choosing solitude over chaos, and possibly trying to rebuild from the inside out. However, with Blueface's release from jail fast approaching, the uncertainty looms large. Their rocky, very public history means anything could happen next. Meanwhile, some fans believe Jaguar Wright's renewed criticism of Chrisean isn't genuine concern. It's a calculated attempt to stay relevant now that the Diddy headlines have started to cool. They claim Jaguar is exploiting Chrisean's struggles for attention and reach. So, where do you stand? Did Jaguar cross the line by dragging Junior into her critiques? Is Chrisean genuinely trying to change, or are we just watching another loop in the cycle? Let us know in the comments. And as always, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and turn on notifications. Because in this era of truth-telling and social media receipts, the real drama isn't scripted. It's streaming live